system isn't already, just turn on the console.
Welcome to the AggroCast, the official podcast at AggroGamer.com. This is episode 43, and as always, I am your host, Michael Camacho. My co-hosts are Ben, Give Me My Damn Wings, Win, and Brian, Bling Bling Bentley.
That's right.
And
damn you and your damn wings.
We'll get into that in a second, but first, let's go around the table and talk about what we've been up to the past week. But Brian, you've got to start this one off.
Yeah. I have the very big privilege of announcing that I got engaged last week.
Congratulations.
Woohoo! I feel sorry for you, but woohoo!
No, I've gotten a few of that, and only one person did the "oh, it's about time."
Is it your mom?
My grandma.
I knew it was one of them. It's always one of those two.
Yeah, grandma. I'm like, all right, thanks a lot, thanks for the support. But no, everyone was really happy. Did it in a park. It was really nice. We really enjoyed it.
Oh, very brave of you.
Well, I mean, it was still light out, so we probably wouldn't have gotten mugged for at least a half hour.
Oh, okay.
It got darker, but yeah, we were walking. I let myself get a little behind her, and I went to quote unquote tie my shoe, and I pulled the ring out, and she was just standing there talking away about something that was going on for the day, and she finally turned around and was like, "You're gonna do this now?" And then so I said, "Yeah," and I asked her to marry me.
Awesome.
So,
Did she cry?
yeah, she cried.
Did she afterwards? Got on the phone like, "Oh my God, Mom, I can't believe it."
No, actually, she was pretty calm after we sat, and right after I did it, we sat and talked for a little bit, and so no, she had time to calm down. She was still excited, but she wasn't bawling on the phone to her mother.
Thank God it wasn't her that said it was about time.
Oh yeah, that's bad. But yeah, we're very happy.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, we're happy for you and her.
Yeah, we're happy for you. We feel sorry for her, but we're happy for you.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but now you mention it.
I will.
So what about you guys? What have you guys been up to?
Ben, what have you been up to?
Started school last week and had my first day of my intro to design class, which I found out I was 2 weeks behind because class started like early this month, and I was like, okay, because when I signed up for my classes, I assumed I might be at most a week late, so I could catch up and whatnot. No, I'm 2 weeks behind. I have 5 projects I need to do, and it's due within 2 weeks, and I have a quiz next week. So I got a lot of reading and a lot of projects to do. So
wow, get off Aion.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, I'm fortunate enough to have my girlfriend with me yet again with me today. But other than that, I don't think I'm going to see her for the next few days because I really need to buckle down and do this because I need to get caught up, and class ends sometime right before Thanksgiving. So.
Wow. That's fast.
Yeah, it is fast.
Wow, definitely. Well,
that's awesome.
So yeah, that's what I've been doing, and also looking for a job and all that good stuff. So.
Well, good luck, man.
Yeah.
Definitely good luck with school and job search.
Thanks. So, what have you been up to, Mike?
Well, after a long, eventful 9-10 days with Hey Chest, aka Nicola, in town. Everything went great. We had a wonderful time, no issues. Family absolutely loved her.
Of course.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I wasn't worried.
I mean, the only thing you had to worry about was them trying to convince her to, ooh, you're too good for him. Maybe you should.
Well, my stepmom might do that. My mom wouldn't. But we had a blast. It was tough when I dropped her off at the airport.
Yeah.
So we're already working out. I'll be going down there for Thanksgiving, making the 12-hour drive because it's about $200 cheaper than flying.
Excellent.
So she's trying to come up here possibly in October. We don't know if it's going to happen just financially, but she's definitely going to come here for Christmas through New Year's.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
like
nice.
she'll fly in Christmas Day, like later in the day, so she can spend time with her family in the morning.
Sure, of course.
And then that'll be nice. Other than that, I had my Halo 3 ODST copy delayed by Amazon. Well, not Amazon, by UPS. We were supposed to get it here next day. Which it was in Laurel, Maryland here, which is 20 minutes away by 2 something this afternoon. Now, if somebody's paying for next day shipping, you would think they'd get somebody deliver it that day. Well, they're gonna realize they just delivered it for free because I'm calling Amazon tomorrow. Amazon can get their money back and they can somehow refund or give me credit in some way. Because I pay for Prime and I expect them to deliver on it. No pun intended, honestly. Only other thing that happened was I woke up to my alarm going off this morning and my left calf in a huge cramp.
Oh.
There's nothing worse than being stuck in a cramp that you're trying to basically knead out of your calf in serious, utter pain, and you have your alarm going, and you can't get to it. So I spent 5 hours listening to my alarm go off while I couldn't move.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Ouch.
So I walked around with a limp all day because of it. I don't know if you guys probably have had them before.
Oh,
Usually
yeah.
when you don't have enough potassium or you're dehydrated, it happens. So I haven't had one in a long time.
Or when you're just getting old.
Definitely came from not drinking
Ooh.
enough water recently. Drink.
Or enough beer, one of the two.
Actually, there's a funny story I'll give you real quick. Freaking,
Uh-oh.
my stepmom gave me a jug of sangria. Nick and I pretty much finished it off one night, and we were ready to go upstairs. Well, I got kind of like a cold, so I took some NyQuil. She said she's kind of like just talking to me in bed. Next thing she knows, I'm like out. I didn't move till the morning when my dog woke me up to go to the bathroom. She said she couldn't sleep. She got up, went to the computer for a couple hours. I was so knocked out. She was like, "Well, obviously I can't do anything with you. Can't do anything with me." So she like listened to the last podcast and did some other things. Alcohol and NyQuil, fun times.
Well, you didn't know? NyQuil's the 13th step.
Yeah. It was oh my god. So
That's
other than
funny.
that, just back to work. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, I'll say this though. I'm just really glad that you and Nicola are really happy with each other. So
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
and everybody said that we just looked absolutely happy together. From family, and we even met up with one of my coworker from work, and one of the girls he knows from work, and we went out and they were talking about how happy we looked. So
That's
did
really
you guys
great.
go Duclaw?
yeah, actually we did. And I didn't make the decision. I haven't been there really a lot, and somebody said let's go to Duclaw. So I was like, okay. But,
No, that's awesome.
I do miss her cooking.
I bet you
I
do.
made grilled cheese tonight on my own and burnt the bread.
And it didn't taste the
thing
same.
is, she said put it on medium high, but I was using potato bread, so I think it burned faster.
Huh.
Because I did it exactly how she did it, and it just both sides on the first sandwich were like charred. I was like scraping it with a knife.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll figure it out. So I'm gonna try to start cooking on my own now because I really miss her cooking.
Awesome. Good for you.
All right. Well, enough about that. Why don't we get into what we've been playing for once? I'll start off. Actually, Ben and I have both been playing these first 2 games. We'll start off with Wet. It's the game from Artificial Minds. I can't even think of it right now. I am having a blank. Artificial Mind and Movement. Sorry, game developers, published by Bethesda Softworks. I don't know if it's the first like third-party type title Bethesda's actually done that hasn't been in-house produced. I don't think it's the first, but it's the main one that's not with a company they've really worked closely with before. So it was interesting that they picked up this game. Originally under Sierra, when Activision acquired them, this game got dropped. It was very overly sexualized in the initial stages. I remember being very excited for this game. Everybody knows I like the female protagonist, especially when I heard Elijah Dushku was brought on the project. Love Elijah Dushku.
Sure,
Nothing better than a hot Greek woman. Oh. And so I got the game, pre-ordered off Amazon. Got it for like $45 with the ECA membership. Telling you, everybody better get that. And I've had an absolute blast with it. You basically have to constantly be moving and shooting, doing your tricks, doing the acrobatics. Keep yourself in slow motion and rack up the scores, rack up the combos, and it's just awesome. I don't know, Ben, what you thought about the action in the game.
No, I agree with you. You especially when you're in a room full of enemies, and especially guys killing you, and especially when a guy with a Gatling gun is shooting at you. No, you seriously have to be constantly moving, shooting around, doing different acrobatics. You can't be using the same one over and over again. Well, what I find myself doing is like I'd be jumping and seeing how many enemies is in the room, and I'll switch guns right in the middle of me, like doing a slow mo. So I'll be like using the pistols at first, see how many enemies are close by. I maybe switch to the semi-automatic or the shotgun. So I mean, I like it a lot. I like the action part. I really like a lot. From aside from the action, the puzzle part was, I don't know what to think about it, because at some points I do like it. Other points was a little frustrating at times.
Which puzzle part?
But then
what puzzle parts?
The maneuver through the stage or whatever.
Oh yeah. The stages sometimes can be very like packed together, and there'll be constant like rails that you have to like flip off of and poles you use. And I agree. Sometimes you're like, wait, how do I get to this one? And it was like they put too much together to try to give you too much to do.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of saying, okay, here's the best way to do this. But for the most part, I found myself easily getting through the stages. I thought the music is awesome. You want to talk about getting that Tarantino-esque vibe down to a T. I mean, some of the music, like especially when you're in rage mode and everything turns red, white, and black, the music during those moments was awesome.
Oh, they were.
Yeah, like
they definitely were.
It gets you pumped up. It gets you moving. I love the car chase scenes, where you're shooting guys and at the same time you have to pay attention to the QuickTime events. And the QuickTime events never seem forced or unnatural. I like the fact every button you hit during QuickTime matches the buttons on your controller to whatever move it would be perfectly. A lot of games will just throw any button at you to try to catch you off guard. This one's like, no, if you have to jump, you're going to press the A button. So if you know that she's about to swing the sword, you know you're hitting X.
Yep.
So it works perfectly. I mean, the QuickTime events never seem like, oh my god, here's another one. I've actually heard a lot of people slamming this game lately. Listen to Rebel FM, they slammed it, and I'm like, I have a feeling too many people are looking for these epic storylines, these epic games that are going to be so engrossing with the story and all the characters. I found the characters in this game to be great, by the way, but sometimes I love these games where it's just mindless fun. I'm not worried about what happens next in the stories. I just want to keep killing people. I just want to keep running through the stage, see what I can do next. And I think too many people are trying to be too serious with this game when it's not really taking itself seriously.
Well, that was the one thing I noticed. Like the storyline is a little lacking, but I'm like, well, it, almost like it's like a video game that's trying to be a movie at the same
Yeah.
time. And I'm like, okay, I like that where I'm like I'm getting a little break from like each stage or from like each board or whatever. I'm like I'm watching some like old ass commercial that you see back in like what the 50s, 60s.
Yeah, for theaters.
I'm like that. I'm like that's pretty sweet. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it was a nice
And
way
I'm
to
like,
mask the loading times.
yeah, exactly. That's what that's what I like. I'm like, all right. So I'm like, intrigued by it. Watching these commercials and didn't know that that's what it was. It was just loading to the next part.
Yeah, it actually
So.
didn't just show like a screen where it says loading.
Hmm.
So it was nice having that. The only parts I really had a problem with that really showed the faults of the game was the landmine part. Um, it's not a huge part of that stage, but it's enough to where you realize that Ruby just doesn't jump the way you want all the time, and sometimes it's just too touchy, and you'll find yourself jumping when you don't want to. Um,
See, I got through that part fine. My only complaint about it is like when she's on a ledge or something like in a closed area and you want to find out where the next area is, and I just have an issue with the camera angle. Like you can't move the camera
yeah, sometimes.
as freely as you wanted to.
Sometimes that was a problem. I was like, wait, where am I supposed to go? So I was just randomly jumping until I found what I needed.
Yeah, exactly. That was my issue. Was just the camera itself at times, not all the time, but at certain times when we're going to the board and you climbing on stuff, that's where I have find the most issues.
I have to.
I mean, I know they're trying to be like a movie where you can't, a camera can't really do that during the movie, but still.
Yeah. What was the other one? I didn't like the. I don't know. I'm sure you got to this part. I didn't like the skydiving part.
Oh, that frustrated the hell out of me.
Yeah.
I think I played through that board like 10 times
Yeah, where you're
before I
basically.
finally
Yeah,
accomplished
you're
it.
basically just memorizing the stage. It's kind of like you're dodging all these pieces flying at you while you're trying to get to this parachute pack, and while you're free falling. And I was just getting annoyed. Like I was like, this is bullshit. And I said that a lot during games, but this was like one part of a game where even afterwards it still bugged me. That and the landmines, and the one thing after landmines where you jump on a ledge and these flaming barrels start falling down at you, but there's no indication it's about to happen. And when you get to the top, there's no guy standing at the top that was doing it, so it's just these random barrels that are falling.
Yeah, that's on fire.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's the guy that I
There
thought I
was
was going to
no
kill?
reason. I was like, what did I just jump into a game of Donkey Kong?
Hey, at least Donkey Kong, you knew where the barrels were coming
Yeah,
from.
this one didn't. I was just like, this is bad. Like, but I gotta say overall, I really enjoyed the game. It's easy to forgive the faults when you get into some of these parts where you're just really focused. Like, Ben, I'm telling you, later on, you're in a rage mode car scene.
Oh
And
god.
it's fucking awesome. Like, I thought that was one of the best parts. It can be frustrating at times, like all of them, because it's quick time. You gotta be paying attention. And it's frustrating because you're trying to shoot and watch for the buttons, but it was just unbelievable. I was just having a blast. And I definitely gotta say, if you don't want to go out and buy it right now, rent it or play the demo first. If not, I don't see this game staying at $60 for long. You'll easily pick this up by 30 to 40 by the end of the year.
Yeah, I was about to say like right around Christmas time I think the price is going to drop.
Yeah.
Because it's easily a rental game because that's where I got it from GameFly. So
And the other game both of us have been playing, I actually started early. Don't want to talk too much about the pre-selection or the head start itself. We'll discuss that later on in the podcast, but we've been playing Aion. And the game part is, I don't know, I've done the leveling of my Asmodean character 3 times now, and I still haven't gotten bored of it. getting back up to level 12, 13. I'm having a blast. I think
I'm having fun. I mean, this is my first time playing it through that side because during the open beta I was playing. What were we playing? The Elios.
yeah, Elio's side.
And I was having a blast on that side. So, since we're playing on the same side on the same server, I'm like, wow, this is like really similar to the Elios side.
Yeah.
So I'm like loving up with Breeze and whatnot. It's really fun. I like it. I think for me, because I thought considering that it's two different, I guess, races. You want to say that you would think that the customization might be a little different.
Yeah.
On both sides, but they're really not.
There's only a
like
few.
The voice. Yeah, there's only like you notice a few difference, but like the voice for it exactly the same.
Yeah.
I thought that since you're only choosing up to like 3, that maybe it would be a little different. Especially since we're using all this gigabytes of space anyways. Why not just throw in 4 more new voices?
I agree. That would definitely be nice. And I don't know. I think the one thing that a lot of people are going to be very upset about when they play the game, if you were a WoW player and you love the way WoW has you leveling, you will fucking hate Aion. You are not going to level to level 20 within 2 days.
Wow.
2 days? People do that less than 2 days now.
Well, if you have the time, what I'm saying is, you're not going to level like that in WoW.
Yeah.
So.
No. There's a lot more running around, a lot of backtracking, and in this game than you do in like any other MMO that I played. Like I've never gone through this much backtracking. Like talk to this person, okay, so I'm progressing throughout to the new land, and then this person's like, oh, I need you to talk to this person, and then the person that really wants you to talk to is in the previous zone that you were in, so you got to walk all the way back over there until like you finally reach to another area where it's got a flight point, and then you're like, okay, this is easier where I can just fly over there.
Yeah.
Oh hell no.
It's
Sorry, are you guys trying to make the game sound good? Because wow, you just really turned me off.
well, this is one of the things that makes it a very
Unique.
Eastern RPG. This is very Asian in style. Nothing comes easy in the Korean MMO scene. But they've done a great job in fixing a lot of things for the US market. Quest items spawn faster, drop rates are better. You don't have to grind as much as you used to. When I played the closed beta, I had to grind, like grind. Now with the patch, they put out the 1.5 patch in open beta, and they updated it even further by the time it hit launch, and it's fixed a lot of problems, and you will level as you're supposed to if you're just doing quests. Until, of course, when you get to the end game and you're just spending all your time in the abyss, which I don't know what level you have to be to hit that, but I think it's like 40 or 50.
Is the level cap at 40?
They moved it to 50. It was 45.
Oh, was it? Oh, that's gonna be a while.
Yeah. I mean, you're not gonna level like you would in WoW. It's not this gimme environment. The one thing I like is you have an account warehouse.
Oh, yeah. And anyone can go in that vault?
Any of your characters.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I want
now,
one of
I don't
those.
know if it goes across servers.
No, but it's good because it sort of will cut down on the number of characters in the game itself.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I have a bank character. I have a character that his job is to hold stuff in the vault for me.
Yeah.
And that's his job.
But yeah, that's the thing I like. You could do that, so you could put your money into this, and I believe anybody. I haven't tried it yet because right now, our server, which was the least populated for the East Coast, has now hit QE times, which we'll discuss later as well. So, I'm trying to keep me playing all these characters at once. I'm just focused on one till things quiet down. But yeah, the game's fun as hell. Looks fantastic.
Oh, looks beautiful. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Looks 100 times better than WoW.
Well, the Crytek engine, I mean, they used it perfectly. So, and I got the collector's edition, so I got a lot of pre-order goodies and collector's edition goodies. Loving it. I will say one thing about the trading posts or the trade brokers. I still have a problem. You're forced to undercut other people constantly. I mean, it's a problem in all the games. There's always that one person who puts their goods like half price of the next lowest price one. So now everybody's putting it at that price.
Yeah, that's kind of how it works.
Yeah, I know. It sucks. I wish
yeah.
just be like, hey, you can't do that.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about some more about that later.
I know you have to let them do that, but it's just fucking ridiculous. I actually found one guy selling cheaper than you could get if you sold it to a merchant.
Really?
I was like, well, I'm just gonna sell it over
I don't
here.
understand people who do that.
Those are people who are purposely trying to grief other sellers. So I just said, I'm gonna go sell it to the merchant because I really don't care that much.
Actually, I did that in WoW where let's say I was a jewel crafter, so I'm making all these gems and whatnot. So I'm looking in the market, see how much they were going for, and then I would sell it like 15, 20 golds less, and I put all my stuff on there. I walk away, and like I get a mail, automatic, like as soon as I leave, saying, "Oh, someone just purchased your stuff." I'm like, "Oh."
Speaking of which, this is one thing I like in this game that WoW doesn't have.
Personal sellers?
No, some people may not like this, but when you sell something, you don't have to go find a mailbox. You just go back to the trade broker and you cash out there. Yeah. I personally like that because if I'm selling stuff and I'm still putting other stuff up and stuff selling, I could take it out right then. Yeah. I don't have to walk and go be like, okay, let me go to the mailbox real quick.
Wait, you mean the mailbox isn't like 10, in Lot Row? It's like 10 feet away, like not even 10 feet.
No, it's over by the respawn point if you die in the town.
No.
So you have to walk.
No, it's in the same room.
Oh, no. Even in WoW, they don't put it that close. So I got kind of annoyed that way. So.
What, the bank and the auction house?
No, just the trade broker. Just the fact that you can withdraw the money from your sales right there. Yeah. So next time you go to sell stuff, you just cash out all the money that's in there, and then put up your new stuff. I prefer it all in one spot instead of trying to go here to. Let me go to my mailbox and get my money. Now I want to go sell some more stuff. Let me walk back.
Yeah, the one thing I personally don't like about I really find annoying. It's not like I don't like. I find it annoying is that maybe because I'm so used to WoW and and having bag space and whatnot. That's the one thing I find myself like limited is like just a limited bag space unless I purchase some more, but it just price gets higher and higher.
I didn't even notice you could purchase bag space. I need to do that.
What's that?
Purchase bag space. I'm going crazy.
Yeah, I need to do that too. I forgot who I need to talk to about that, but yeah, I'm absolutely going crazy because I'm like I need the bag space. I'm at level 8 right now, and I'm in dire need of bag space. I'm like, wow, this is sad.
Yeah, I always have the first row filled up, and then I find myself quickly filling up everything else. Yep. It's worse at 13. I'm constantly throwing out stuff I don't need. I'm like, oh, Mana Stone, don't need that.
Oh, I just go and sell some of the stuff.
Yeah, because sometimes I'm in the middle of quest, so I just get rid of some stuff.
Yeah, because while I'm questing, I'm collecting all the garbage stuff, and I'm going and sell it because some of the items go for like ridiculous amount when you sell it to the when you sell it to the NPC.
Yeah.
Which is like, All right, that's how I made my money during open beta.
That's how I make
I
it now
lit-
too.
Yeah, until you start making stuff, I guess.
Yeah, I still haven't
But
figured out what I want to do for that yet. I haven't decided what I want my crafting to be. But we could talk about this for hours. I don't
Yeah.
want to become the MMO podcast or the Aion podcast.
Yeah, good, because I'm screwed then.
So, and plus I'll have to hear it from Nicola. Why you always talk about Aion? She got on me because like 8 or 9 tweets of mine the other day were about Aion.
yeah,
But
I treat you right back.
well, let's get into a game you two have both been playing. You guys talked about last week, but you guys have played it a little bit more, so you guys can give your further impressions on it. Beatles Rock Band.
Awesome.
Brian, you want to start?
Yeah, I guess. I'm still loving it. I have not finished it yet, as far as the gameplay goes, probably because I'm just sort of enjoying it as I've been playing. Plus, we were kind of busy this weekend, but there is one thing that's really driving me crazy, and that's at the beginning, every time I load up the game, because I have the Wii, and we don't have a real hard drive, it asks me, would I like to activate any add-on content from my SD card? And I'm like, yes. And I'm like, I should just be able to say yes once, and it does that for every single time after that. But it doesn't keep that. It asks me every single time I load up, and that's just really frustrating. It's a very, very small thing, but it's like every time I'm like I see the opening credits, I'm getting ready, like, the opening cinematic, getting ready to play, I click the button, and I have to worry about whether or not I have add-on content for my SD card. So,
Do you?
not yet. There's nothing to buy yet, because the one song was only on Xbox 360 to begin with, the benefit song.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah.
I don't believe that album. I don't think Abbey Road comes out for another couple weeks.
How much is that going to cost you?
It was $17, I think, for the entire album.
Wow.
Or $2 a song.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I might not buy all of Abbey Road. I might not buy from that one. The second album is I forget, and the third one is Rubber Soul. I'll definitely be buying that entire album. That's my favorite. That's my favorite album there. So I'll be buying that one in total.
I'll be buying. Oh wait, none of them.
No, yeah, I'm. Unfortunately, I did send my copy back to GameFly. I think today, but I enjoyed it when I was playing it. I was playing the bass on expert and some songs on hard, but just the expert part, I'm like, my fingers start cramping up, like during the middle of like song, and I have to pause. I'm like, oh, that freaking hurts. Unpause and then continue try to finish the song, but it was just ridiculous. Like the rhythm that the Beatles had, some of the songs that the Beatles were going through. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So, other than that, I mean, I don't have the issue that you were going through. I just pretty much start the game and let me start the game right away. So,
right. Well, I had to ask David today. I'm like, do you have this problem, or am I the only one? And it's a Wii only thing, because they have they have to check on the SD card for the information. Even though I don't have to do that for Rock Band 2, it just knows I have content on there, and it just refreshes from there. It doesn't ask me any questions or need any button pushes.
Weird.
Yeah, I just haven't figured that part out yet, but.
So,
Yeah.
okay, what else have you been playing?
Of course, I got Lord of the Rings Online, and been working on Scribblenauts for a review. So it is a lot of fun. I mean, and it's so easy to play. I was playing last Tuesday when we were having the podcast, and I went downstairs, and immediately Vanessa's like, "So what are you playing again?" So I showed her, and then she took the DS from me for the next hour and a half.
Wow.
It's immediate and it's very intuitive. Basically, you just type in stuff, things appear on the screen. There are some. I've been running into some frustration with since the camera is pushed by the D-pad and the buttons. You only control Maxwell. That's your character. You can only control them by clicking on the actual DS itself on the screen. So I'm trying to do something to make it easy for me to move Maxwell into position to do what I need to do. But because I accidentally misclicked and I didn't click the item, I clicked a little bit off, he jumps into the lava. I'm like, dude, why would you do that? I just want a button that I can press that says, Maxwell, stay the fuck here. I'm going to go over here and do something so we can win this level.
Yeah.
Except they don't have that. But other than that, there's really, there's just so many ridiculous ways. It's actually almost as fun as talking to my buddy who has it, is talking to him about, okay, what did you do for this level? And he's like, well, I did this, this, and this. I'm like, oh, shit, I didn't even think of that. So, it's just crazy. Like, we had to kill, there's one we have to kill 3 ninjas and a minotaur. And he just drew a dragon. He had a dragon, and the dragon went through and slayed everybody. And me, I had a pirate show up, kill the ninjas, and then I killed the minotaur with a Medusa. So just 2 totally different ways of solving these puzzles, and it's just fun to talk to one another and figure out well, what did you do? What did you do? And see some of the crazy things you can come up with. So it's a lot of fun. It's if you have a DS, it's definitely a worth a purchase, I think.
Nice. So. I've been thinking about picking it up, but with everything I've got going on, I may have to Deus Ex that one.
Yeah, and there are 10 worlds, plus a tutorial on the outside, but there's 10 worlds, and each world has 10 or 11 puzzles, and there's puzzle side and action side, so there's double the amount of puzzles. So that's easily over 200 puzzles in the entire game. So there's plenty to do. That's about it.
Oh yeah, that's all you've been playing?
Yeah.
No lot row.
No, well, I've been playing lot row on and off, but I've really been trying to play Scribblenauts so I can try to get done with this review.
Yeah.
So
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it seems that's it for what we've been playing. Why don't we jump into the bargain bin segment? And as always, we'll start off with our bargain bin.
Oh.
I almost forgot to laugh. Yeah, my bargain bin is from Steam, and they're running a deal with the Star Wars Jedi Knights collection, where for $20 you get a Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast, Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2, Jedi Knight Jedi Academy, Jedi Knight Mysteries of the Sith, and Star Wars Dark Forces, all for $20.
I think it's worth it just for Jedi Knight 2 and the Jedi Academy, honestly.
Oh
I
yeah,
love both those games.
Those games were awesome. I might get it because I never played Mysteries of the Sith, but all the other ones I absolutely loved it when they came out, and I played through it. So. Yeah. I think there was multiplayer for Dark Forces 2. No, Jedi Academy.
Jedi Knight 2 and Academy both had multiplayer.
Yeah. No, that was fun. Just hacking, slashing away.
Is there multiplayer support then still? I don't
know.
People still playing it?
That's a good question. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I might need to read up on it and see. So.
Yeah. Awesome.
Nice, I remember.
Oh, there is.
What?
6 different types of multiplayer games, including Jedi Masters, Holocron, Capture of something, Duel, Deathmatch, and Capture the Flag. So there is multiplayer support.
I might have to pick that up.
And that's for Jedi Outcasts.
Wow.
So.
All right. Well, Brian, what do you have? You have another actual collection.
Yes, the Metal Gear. Wait, hold on. Let me read out the Metal Gear Solid: The Essential Collection. For the PS2, it is Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3, and that is the director's cut. They want to make sure that I knew that for 2 and 3, but for $20 on Amazon.com. So that's 3 games for $20. You really can't, especially if you haven't played them. You really can't go wrong with that.
Nice, nice. I'm not a Metal Gear fan, but I know there's plenty of them out there.
Yeah.
As for me, I'm picking Virtua Fighter 5 for the Xbox 360. Amazon has it for $12.43.
Yeah.
Unlike the PS3 version, Virtua Fighter 5 on the 360 does have online multiplayer for the 360, so can't really go wrong. If you've always been a fan of the series, you can pick it up very cheap now. If you have Prime membership, you actually get free 2-day shipping. So
Yeah, I had also seen that one. You stole one from me this week.
Yep. All right. So we'll jump right into the game nights. We recently had our Burnout Paradise night. Just
Always fun.
Yeah, typical, just crashing into each other, going crazy. It was a blast. Had our Gears 2 night. Ben managed to rage quit before the game even started.
I didn't rage quit.
That's what we were joking about. We were like, damn, he rage quit and the thing didn't even start.
Nice. So what did happen then?
No, my girlfriend was really sick and she didn't have anyone to take care of her, so
Oh.
I went over there and I think I spent like 2 nights over there, so.
Aw, so cute.
I'm gonna stick with the rage quit. It's funnier.
Exactly.
So what we had, Gears 2, Snappy, dude from Pwn.com, won that night. Marielli came in second. I came in third again.
Out of 3. All right.
Yeah. So, other people who showed up were Andy actually showed up. Who else? I feel bad for not remembering names right now. But we had 7 total, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah, I would have been 8th if I was around, but I wasn't, so.
Could have used it.
Yeah, I bet.
So, but no, we also had oh, of course, Chesty was there. She came in 4th, right behind me. Vulgar was there, and Beast, Vulgar's friend. So.
Very nice.
Yeah, it was sort of funny on, I want to go back to the Burnout Paradise where where you guys were like, oh, Church is trying to take his revenge from the last time we played this.
Oh yeah, because you got the cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Oh.
Had to end early because I had a meeting with the Pwn staff meeting. That was pretty important. I couldn't miss. So, but that's one of those nights that stays there, and we always have a blast every month. Let's get into our topics of discussion now. We're gonna drop our single topic and actually do quick hits, basically for recent news and other gaming-related items. We'll start off with the Modern Warfare 2 Xbox 360 was announced. $400, and you get quite a lot of shit with it. It's a exclusive design for Modern Warfare 2. You get the standard edition of the game. I think that's my only problem. I think they could have charged $450 or something like that and gave you like this special edition, like with the night vision goggles, and possibly scale back to 1 controller. Just my opinion. But it's got a 250 gig hard drive, 2 wireless controllers, wired headset, Ethernet cable, composite cables. There's another problem I have. They should have thrown in an HDMI cable. They're not that expensive.
A wireless headset.
Yeah.
Because it's wired.
No, those wireless headsets suck. Trust.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, you want the wired
the
ones.
Bluetooth, it doesn't even feel good on your ear. You get feedback.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I hate having those damn cords now. I'm stretching across my room.
No, it plugs into your controller.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, then never mind then. Sorry. I thought I connected to the machine and you dragged it across
No,
your
they're
room.
not like
Oh
the
my God.
PS3.
Yeah,
like
exactly. It's not
that.
like the PS3, so.
But yeah, so excuse me. I personally am in love with this thing. It looks awesome. If
Yeah.
I had the money right now to spend, I'd probably drop it on it. I would love to get a hold of this thing. I don't know about you guys, what your opinions are on this.
Yeah. Oh. It really is one thing that makes you like. And I don't even own a 360, but if I was going to get one, this would be the one to get because it just makes you drool just looking at it.
I agree. It looks a lot better than that Resident Evil red one.
Oh, yeah, it definitely does. I mean, it looks nice and everything, but at the same time, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, really? Another one? I mean, can you at least give me maybe a system that probably won't red ring?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's the one thing. I'm like, they keep on pushing out all these special edition Xboxes, but it's almost like how we bash on Sony about give us the game. Hey, Microsoft, give us a working console that lasts more than maybe a year.
Hey, I still have mine
I
from 2006. Never broke down.
Oh no, I still have mine, and mine only red ring when I first turned it on as soon as I got it out of the box. But other than that, it's been working fine.
I never had a red ring on either of my two systems. How about that?
Well, lucky you, and here's a cookie.
Hey, I don't play mine non-stop like most people do that own 360s. I know that after 3 or 4 hours, the damn system needs a goddamn break.
Yeah.
And I never play that long. And I think that's what a lot of people have problems with. They play it too long, and they leave it inside like entertainment units that don't have good ventilation. Yeah.
Oh, mine is wide in the open. Like I turn it on, and I can just feel it. Just wanted to take off. It's like countdown.
Like I tell you, if one of my 360s broke right now, I'd run out and get this console immediately, though.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I mean, at least give you the special edition of Modern Warfare 2 since you was dropping that much anyways.
If not the night vision goggles, why not the other version?
Yeah, it'd be the special edition, wouldn't it? Because I thought there was like
Hardened?
Prestige edition is the one with the goggles.
Yeah, what's the other one called? Hardened or something like that?
Yeah, Hardened,
something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, that. Why not give them that? Why just give the standard? It just seems kind of like, hey, you're shelling out for our console of the game. You'd expect the person shelling out that money would want the better version of the game.
Exactly. I mean, you're dropping that much anyway, so why not?
Granted, I guess you could buy the Prestige version and go sell the regular copy of the game for $50.
Yeah, but the problem is we're coming back to the exact same thing we always go back. People are going to pay for it anyway, so why?
Yeah.
You can make all the arguments you want, but people are still going to pay for it.
Yeah, and that's the truth. People will. I still won't do the Prestige edition. I give Eric from Average Joe Gamer some credit. There ain't no way. It's like I buy a lot of shit, but like even the Halo helmet one, I waited till it actually hit the same price as Halo 3 on sale, $60.
Yeah, it was on sale at Circuit City for like maybe lower than that actually for a while because they still had some. I'm like, really? You guys still had this in stock? I mean, that was the one item that I did not get. I'm like, if you're gonna give me a helmet, at least let me wear it instead of like have it stuck where like it's supposed to be like hanging somewhere in the room.
Yeah, that was
at least let me wear the damn thing.
That's why I didn't buy it. I was like, oh, I can't wear it. Well, I'm not gonna pay $150 for it, $120.
Exactly. Wait, Eric from Average Joe Gamer is gonna get the Prestige edition.
He says he's gonna hang it in his man cave. Or set it up.
Yeah, that'd be worth it.
Well, I guess I'll be joining the same boat with him then.
You're getting it?
I have a pre-order on Amazon.
Jesus. That's $150. I wish I had done the trade-in program they had where you got like an extra like $50 or something, or I can't remember what it was. It was like you got this, you got 50% off a game, whatever your trade-in value was. I think it had to be over $60, and they had another thing. Oh, then you use the ECA discount, and you got an extra $15 off. People were getting it for like $30.
Yeah. It was some crazy amount. I think who was it? I'm trying to think. Crap. The AggroCast, Cheap Ass Gamers. They wrote up something about that.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, where the guy was saying how you could get it done.
Yep.
Alright, well, I think we all agree that we're all down with this Modern Warfare 2 360. Let's get into the next bit of information real quick.
See, I'm done with the look. I just not done with the whole. Well, some of the things on there could have been a whole lot better to make it worth it, but overall, if I had the money, I'll get it because it just looks so damn sexy.
250 gig hard drive. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, our next item of news comes from Kotaku, and they basically had Sega of America had a leaked document that came out, and there were two separate articles, one discussing that PS2 and Dreamcast games are coming to PSN.
Wow.
And the other thing was that the PSN could see its own import store.
That'd be cool.
Now, let's talk first about the PS2 and Dreamcast games hitting the store. I think this is great. It shows that backwards compatibility, at least they're trying to do something to bring it to the PSN.
Yeah.
Looks like they're finally listening to the gamers. Hopefully we'll see some decent pricing though.
Hopefully, maybe, I think what was the most that people have been seeing is like what, $20 for a game or something like that?
Right now, I know PS1 games have been at between $6 and $15, depending on what it is. Or is it 6 and 10? I can't remember what.
Because, I know a lot of people want to play, Shadow Colossus again or something like that.
Eco. Would be one of them that a lot of people would pick up. I'm just hoping they keep it at $20 or less. I think this is a great idea. I mean, PS2's got a huge library.
And think of the money that they'd be ranking in too.
I think a lot of people would, because a lot of the collectors like me, for the really big RPG games like a Persona 3 or 4, I have the game disc, yes. But if I can keep it in good condition and buy a downloadable copy like I did with Suikoden and Final Fantasy VII, so I don't have to mess up the one I'm collecting, I'd gladly lay down here and there some extra money sometimes, depending on the price.
Yeah, depending on the price. Exactly.
Yeah, that's a huge part of it.
Well, that's the thing. Suikoden for PS1 was $6. I was like, fuck, I'll buy that for $6. I'd rather keep my copy in good condition because it sells for up to $80.
No, I do like the Dreamcast games also that's coming to.
That'll be awesome.
Possibly, yeah, because there was a lot of games that I liked from the.
But I think if they're bringing out Dreamcast games, this kind of kills the whole rumor of Sega bringing out a console.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, see, here's my thing though. Like, if they're gonna do that, are they gonna release I don't know, some of the Japanese games that never reached the
Well, that's
shores.
the next part of this is the fact that um, that imports could be hitting. There's a possibility of an import store, and we will see what happens. Um, the document says Sega could put Japanese games directly on PSN for download in a special Japanese import section, pricing $10 to $40 for full games. And how Sega might need to localize menus at least with subtitles.
Yeah, that's going to drive up the cost.
Yeah. Well, they're specifically talking about the Yakuza series because they don't want to spend all the money for bring Yakuza 3 over here and localize it. I personally think this would be a great idea because they could bring out Yakuza 3 and hopefully just subtitle the whole game, which doesn't cost much at all to do. I mean, to change your text to English does not cost a fortune.
No.
And you could sell them on PSN and an import.
Pay people to localize it.
Yeah, but I don't care, just subtitle it. You don't have to localize the game in any way. Keep the names the same. I don't care if it's broken English. Just let me understand what the fuck is going on, and I will pay you $40 for Yakuza 3.
Exactly.
Because so many people want it, but I don't want to get the game in Japanese.
Just keep all the original voice acting, the character's name or whatever, just subtitle it.
I mean...
And I highly doubt it costs that much just to subtitle it.
I already buy Japanese games off the Japan PSN store all the time. So this is like huge news for me. It's like, how much money am I going to save instead of spending $60 to $70 on an import game? I can now spend $40 or less. But it's going to have to be I'll probably do $30 or less, considering that's less than half price. But I just don't want to have to pay. I just hope they release some things like the Miku Hatsune cosplay outfit that came to home in Japan needs to be released over here. Hopefully they'll start doing things like that. Maybe Sony realized that this with the region coding and dropped it. So they knew how many of PS2s were hacked to play import titles. Why not bank off of that money?
Exactly.
And a lot of PS2s were hacked and modified.
Well, yeah, because people wanted to play some of the Japanese games, so why not? I mean, if that's the only way, then sign me up.
I agree. So this looks to be an awesome idea. I don't know, Brian, you own a PS3 as well. What do you think, of the import store? Do you think?
I think it could be huge in a very, very small select market. And first of all, to be honest, maybe these localization costs might be a little bit, but I think the amount of money that they'll make from doing this far outweighs any expenses they might have.
Yeah.
From it.
Well, I think one of the biggest things, the games that will benefit the most from this, even if you don't localize it, but maybe you do the menus only, are fighting games. People can finally play some of the little off-brand, just very unique fighting games from Japan that you never got to play, and they'll be like $10. A lot of fighting game fans are going to pick those up just to give them a try. And all you need to know in fighting games is, okay, what menu does what?
Mash buttons.
Exactly.
Yep.
I think it'll be a great thing. I know at Otakon, when I go to Otakon, they always have fighting games set up and imports and all that. Import games are always there, and people just pick up and play. Those are the biggest sellers, and like I said, Yakuza 3 will be a huge seller. Alright, on to the next topic. We'll get in real quick. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this, as we talked about this game a lot earlier on. The Aion launch and the things that happened with 7-hour queue waiting in queues for 7 hours. I can't even talk right now. And some other slip-ups that happened, especially during pre-selection. We'll start off with the pre-selection. If people weren't following the Aion people on Twitter, especially,
You?
pre-selection was pushed back by about 45 minutes.
What can you explain more about what pre-selection is?
Okay. For everybody who pre-ordered the game and had their account set up as pre-order through NCSoft, you got to pre-select 2 characters on any server. Basically, it let you lock that name down. So
Right.
if you want to make a character you're going to play later and a character you're going to play now, and you know these names are going to be pretty sought after, you can set up your name and go back to it later. I made the mistake of doing one of them on a server called Asfel, which turned out to be the most sought after server in the game. Which brings us to the Aion launch queues. Oh, but real quick, let me go. The pre-selection was pushed back 45 minutes because people were missing Aion from their NCSoft launcher. Like, the game disappeared. I had it, so I'm sitting there going, fuck these people. I have mine. Let me get in there. Let me in the game. So people... The other part is they didn't close down the login screen. So you could log in and you'd sit there trying to get to a server. Or to the server screen. So it was lagging their servers to push out patches. So they're like, we have thousands of people trying to hit our servers at the same time. Some for patching, some trying to access the game. So that got pushed back, and then finally Sunday, the game finally launches. Well, there's queues all over the place for servers. And it's not like you're waiting like 10, 20, 30 minutes. It's an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours on one of the servers I tried to get into. One guy actually screenshotted 7-hour wait. Now, I'm sorry. NCSoft, you've done quite a few MMOs. And I know this happened in WoW's initial launch, but that was years ago. We've had time to figure out these problems and fix them. I'm tired of hearing people say, "Well, this happened in WoW." This is a few years later, and a company that's done this before.
Right.
You admitted that a record was broken with over 400,000 pre-orders for an MMO. Hello? You're expecting 400,000 people to slam your fucking servers. And you're telling me you're not prepared? You're going to use a queue system? I can understand saying, hey, no more characters of this race can be created on a server because it's overloaded. So let them jump over to the other side, but don't make a queue system.
Well, I think part of the problem is maybe they didn't want to pull, like an Age of Conan, where they have all these, servers and backup and whatever, and then all of a sudden all the support for the game falls out, and then there's nothing for them to, they have to downsize, whatever.
Oh, I understand that, but when I spend $70 for the collector's edition, I can't even play the game.
Right.
There's a problem there. I don't know if it was you, Ben, or somebody else I was talking to that said, oh no, it was my coworker at work. He goes, well, you signed that agreement. And I'm like, I signed that after I pay for the game. That little privacy and...
Which you continuously have to hit every single time you log in?
Which is annoying. But my thing is, when you do that, not just it's a privacy agreement, it's also stating these are the rules, regulations of the server. This could happen at any time. We could take down the servers at any time. But the problem is, when you post that to me after I've already pre-ordered and have the game in hand at $70, and you're handing me these queues, I have a problem with that, because I've already paid for the game and I have it in hand. I can't send it back when I've opened it up.
Exactly.
And use the activation key. You can't sit there and do that. And I hate to say it, you either got to build more servers or create more room on these servers.
I think eventually, we'll see within the next couple of weeks that more servers are going to be released or whatnot, and then we'll be able to see the numbers
Yeah.
and the lag time or the queues just slowly
I
disappearing.
know the queues will disappear as people level and they get out of certain areas because they don't want to flood like thousands of people in one area trying to quest at the same time. I understand the need, but 7 hours is fucking ridiculous.
I agree.
At that point, you need more servers. People can say, hey, stop bitching, stop queuing, but no, you're spending good money on this. And people keep saying, oh, your first month's free. Not really, I paid for it by buying the game. If I can't play that first month, I expect to be reimbursed for that month.
Right.
Luckily, I haven't had many problems. I think the most I waited today was 15 minutes on our server.
I think the longest I waited was 30 minutes. 30 minutes. So.
Yeah. And another thing, real quick, before we jump to the next topic, they have been kicking people that are sitting AFK for 30 minutes. Fine. But there's people who have gotten around this by opening up stores, like personal stores that can sit there as long as they want. I'm sorry, if you're AFK with the store give them 2 hours. You have a store, you're trying to make money. Maybe you step away for a second. Fucking kick them off. I don't give a shit if you have a store, but some of these people have one item in their store that's way overpriced just so they could sit there.
I don't understand that. Why?
And the problem is, you go into some of these areas, and there's like 20 to 30 people in this town all set up with stores just because they're idling. Bullshit. Kick them off so people who actually want to play the game can play the game.
Right.
I don't care if they have to come back every hour and a half and move their mouse or something, or move to another spot on the map and then reopen the store.
I guess I don't understand why do you need to have it open?
To not be logged out. Because after 30 minutes of AFK, they'll log you out. Because right now, they can't have you sitting in the game. There's other people who want to play. So they're getting around it by creating a store and just walking off or going to work or whatever.
I guess, have the wait times been that so bad that they need to do something silly like be AFK for hours?
Yeah, the 4 hours, 7 hours. I know one of the servers I tried to get in today for the Elio side just to check out to see what it was. It was still about an hour wait.
Wow.
And I'm sorry, you got to start booting these stores at least until the servers are fully ironed out and the game's fully functional without having to worry about queues. You gotta do something at some point and say, sorry, you can't have these stores up for this long without doing anything. Maybe it'll actually force these people to interact with the customers buying stuff. I don't know.
Either that or just like they need to put like a cap of how long you can keep your store open, and then after that they need to come back and then have to reopen up again. Like, I don't know, you said 30 minutes if you don't have a store open.
I said 2 hours.
You get booted
2 hours. That way, for these people who try to do it when they go to work, or when they go off to sleep, within 2 hours they're kicked off.
That's so funny.
See, I think 2 hours is too long. I still say 2 hours is too long. I say about 45 to an hour.
I don't, because if you're going to get dinner or something and something happens, hey, 2 hours will give you time. 2 hours is not that long, but it keeps those people who are just waiting so they can get home from work or wake up to get right back on without having to worry about a queue.
Yeah,
those are the people I'm trying to weed out, which are probably hundreds and thousands. That's just my opinion.
That just blows my fucking mind.
Yeah, but this is a game that was more anticipated than I think anybody ever thought. Hell, look at me. I'm not much of an MMO guy, and I'm loving it, so.
I guess I just don't. I don't know. I guess if I was waking up, I could click in and log in and wait while I get breakfast. Never mind. Sorry.
No, I know. If it said 7 hours, I would go take a nap for 6 hours. Or go play something else for 6 hours. But still, they said people were getting disconnected while waiting, then just to jump back into a line.
Wow.
That sounds like the good old days.
But yeah, and I'm like, you're too established of a company to be having these problems. Just my opinion on that. I still love the game, and I know it's not going to be like this forever. It's just the launch. I mean, it just launched the other day, yesterday. So that's the Aion launch QEs and their slip-ups. Let's get into... Alright, we're going to go into the final topic real quick. And it's the slip of the Wii HD. Or the possibility of this, because we don't want to just say it was slipped. The head of Square Enix happened to make a quick mention.
Oopsie.
And actually, the guy who does No More Heroes said after No More Heroes 2, he would love to do the next one on the next Wii system.
Oh.
And the Square Enix guy said he expected Nintendo will release the new Wii in 2011.
Do you guys actually plan on buying this?
What, Wii HD?
Yeah.
Only if it steps up the graphics to 360 and PS3. I mean, unless it's not, if it's not on par with the other two systems.
Yeah. I mean, then we're talking about like they really will have to. They're gonna have to tape an entire another GameCube to that.
No, they're gonna have to tie another 4 or 5.
Yeah. I'm under exaggerating. The point being, they're really gonna have to up the horsepower on this thing to make it viable for what we're talking, what we're desiring for it. You know, to make those levels. I just don't know if Nintendo's gonna do that.
Do you guys feel like this might be like a almost like a prelude to a rumor of Nintendo making a new system? Because by 2011, wouldn't it be time for Nintendo to release a new system?
I don't know. I think everybody's trying to push longevity at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this is going to be the longest console generation of all time.
And I think that's to the fact that most haven't even pushed the limits on any of the systems yet. And the fact that this recession, people don't have the money for a new console at this point. And honestly,
Right.
I see it as a blessing. I'm not ready for a new console. Normally around this time, I'm like, okay, when's the next console coming out? Next year should be the next console. When is it? I'm not excited. I'm still excited for games coming out right now.
Right, exactly. And I think a big part of it is, especially like Mike, you said with the recession, is that people are only just now getting into this generation of console. I mean, like, I've only had my PS3 for a few months at this point. You know, and it's been out for 3 years. I finally just had enough, money to get one.
Yeah.
So people are just getting into this market, and I agree, Mike. And I think there's just a lot of untapped potential at this point.
Well, look at the fact that in the PS2's life, before the PS3 was even released, or even the 360, there was 3 GTA games. How many sequels have been on the modern console so far? Gears 1 and 2. I mean, honestly, there hasn't been many with multiple titles in this generation yet. Mass Effect 2 finally hits next year. Mass Effect 1 came out in 2007. At the end of 2007.
Yeah.
It's taking longer to develop these massive games with better graphics. Even the companies aren't prepared for a new console. They're still working on the titles of right now. And the series of right now. Like, Mass Effect 3, whenever it hits, if they're truly continuing all your saves, what's going to happen on the next system? You're not going to be able to do that shit. It has to come out for the 360.
Yeah,
Especially
exactly.
unless Microsoft knows that they're going to have everything completely backwards compatible, and your saves are going to jump over to your new hard drive onto the new system, which probably won't happen.
Yeah.
I personally, but with Wii HD, I'm not looking to buy it. Muramasa was the only reason I turned my Wii on, and since I've finished it, I haven't touched my Wii. I can't see the Wii HD really making me jump out of out and being like, hey, I gotta go buy one the minute it comes out. Really? I don't care. Nintendo hasn't proved that they can put out games worth me buying another console at this point.
Yeah, I just don't have any excitement for it at all because, like, why?
Sadly, my 360 collection is more than both my PS3 and Wii games combined.
Yeah.
And I think my Wii collection might beat my PS3 collection at this point, or tied. But that's only because I've been getting them cheap off Guzex, and they're a lot of the party type games. For Win, at some point, I'll probably have somebody over that wants to play them. Honestly, like 3 of those titles are imports.
I don't know.
I know I'm not gonna get it. I don't know. I mean, I know there's gonna be a couple games that's coming out, like the new Metroid, the Mario Brothers series, but other than that, I just don't see myself getting one. Yeah. Because, okay, I'm gonna play the 3 games and be done with it. I mean, hell, Brian, when was the last time you, well, besides playing Rock Band and whatnot, I mean, played any other games on your Wii?
Honestly, I can't think.
That chef game or whatever?
Yeah, Order Up was probably the last one I did, and I got that, in the used section at GameStop for like $12.
Yeah. It's just not a system where us as the hardcore gamers are really like, oh, a new Nintendo system. We're all like, whatever. Nintendo hasn't proved themselves with this one. It's great when you have people over, but you don't really give a shit when you're just sitting there by yourself. Like, honestly,
you're just staring at it.
Brian, if you had gotten all the Rock Band stuff for your PS3 instead, that Wii
I would never
fucking get turned on.
No, it would never get turned on at this point until Super Mario Wii comes out.
That's what I'm saying. And there's no reason for a Wii HD. And I think Nintendo's going to shoot themselves in the foot if they try to push it out. The
thing is, people are still going to buy. We're back to people are still going to buy it.
What's the price going to be? $250, or are you going to have to make it more?
No, they'll have to make it more if they're going to make it more powerful.
But the people who already bought the Wii for the party system aren't going to upgrade. They're going to be like, whatever.
No.
Unless they come up with games that's for the Wii
Parents
HD.
bought this because it was a party system, great for kids, and it was the cheapest system on the market.
Yeah.
They didn't care what the graphics looked like. Wii HD, these same parents are going to be like, it's how much? Sorry, you can go get a 360. Or a PS3, it's cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to have to be at least 300, I'm guessing.
It'll have to be. It can't be higher than any of the systems on the market. If the other ones dropped to 250 by that point, or 200, it would have to come out for 200 or 250.
I would expect that what they'll probably end up doing is coming out at 250 with the Wii HD and then moving regular Wii's to 200.
I say 150. They're going to have to go lower than that, or else they'll never sell a Wii HD.
It's Nintendo.
I know, but
look at the DS and DSi.
Eventually, you're going to shoot yourself. Yeah, but the DSi is not selling that well.
No, it really isn't. But I'm just saying that is Nintendo's MO. That's what they do.
I know. But we shall see. I know. I think we're all in agreement. We're not looking forward to that one.
Not unless something comes out with it that's gonna, blow your friggin' mind.
Yeah, and I doubt it.
I doubt it.
But yeah. So, well, that about wraps up our discussion topics. I hope everybody enjoyed the new format of having multiple topics instead of us just rambling on 30 minutes on just one and shooting off in different directions from time to time.
But we're so good at it.
Yeah, true. But yeah, we're all gonna get out of here. You know how to find us. Actually, hold on one second, guys. I almost forgot. I'm gonna feel like an asshole if I don't get to this.
Uh-oh.
So you're gonna have to stay for just a little longer here, Ben. Christopher writes in. We got our first letter.
Nice.
AggroCast. Yeah, that's why I was like, I gotta get to this. Christopher writes in, aka gamertag Red Run, says, I have been of the MMORPG scene for over 5 years. The last online RPGs I was playing were Ragnarok, Final Fantasy XI, Phantasy Star Online, and EverQuest. This all happened when I made the switch to gaming on my consoles only. Just recently I decided to try the World of Warcraft 2-week trial to see what the fuss is about with this game. I never suspected that I would ever catch the WoW addiction people are talking about. Completely blown away and really enjoying the function and features that really work better than any MMO I played in the past. I know, welcome to 2005. Recently on the podcast, though, you've been talking about Aion and talking some good things about it. Also, I've seen some ads for PerfectWorld.com with their launch of free MMOs like Ether Saga Online, Perfect World International, and Torchlight when it finally becomes an MMO. My question is, with MMORPGs being plentiful this time around, which route do you think have a better ground? The subscription-free microtransaction games or pay-to-play games? Do you think Aion will ever come to the Mac eventually? We'll start with the first question. I think right now, pay-to-play will be the better ones because they're going to have more production. When people pay $15 a month after already paying for the game, that's all money in their pocket to produce more and do better. I mean, that's why WoW can keep putting out with these huge expansion packs. That's
Speaking of WoW and the expansion, they released another patch today, which brings out a next year, but we won't go into that. For me, though, I would say it's all based on your income and how much, if you have a job or whatnot.
Yeah.
And if you have some sort of income coming your way, then, then the pay-to-play, would suit you, and if you have the time to play it. Because if you don't have the time, then why are you going to waste your money and time on playing a game that you don't have the time for? Then that's where you go with the free-to-play and stuff like that. That is my own personal opinion, because when Torchlight comes out, I'm going to get it because I had a blast playing it at PAX. But other than that, there's also some other free MMOs out there, like Dungeon Fighters Online from Nexon. I think that's gonna be coming out soon. Maple Stories is always a popular
Neo
one.
Steam, which I played and I had fun with.
Exactly. Neo Steam is another good one right there too. So there is quite a few good free to play if you don't have the time and money. But if you do have the time and money, then get some of the better production ones like WoW, EVE Online, Aion.
But that's the thing. You wouldn't have the beautiful games like Aion that use a Crytek engine if they were microtransaction. They're not going to make the money off of it. So
no, exactly.
It depends on what you're looking for. Like you said, if you have the money or not. But at the same time, do you want the bigger production games like WoW or Aion or Champions Online, or do you want to go with the ones that you really don't care how well the production is or how beautiful it looks? You just want a fun time waster to play that you don't have to invest a lot of money in. Then go with the microtransactions. But
yeah, I think you guys have made a good point with that, and I'll also add it also depends on the kind of environment, social environment you're looking for. Like I met my girlfriend through Puzzle Pirates, but that is more of a little more laid back environment. You're going to have a lot more mothers with children who are able to put in a little bit of time, but they're on tight budgets or whatever. I mean, so I think you got to think about that as well. I think if you're looking for a hardcore environment, then your WoWs, Lotro, Ions are going to probably be a little bit better for you. If you're looking for something a little more laid back and, like Ben said, a little less of a time, if your time's constrained, then yeah, definitely a microtransaction or free-to-play MMO would be a good choice.
And on the last question, do you think Aion will ever come to the Mac? I think it all depends on the sales. If it continues to do well, I mean, they're not going to turn down more money. It'll come to the Mac, but it's all going to depend on how it does in the long run. They're not going to
I think it's also depending on NC Soft whether or not they want to bring it out to the Mac. Because if it would have been if they wanted to bring it out to the Mac, they would have done so in the Korean market by now.
Yeah, but I think this is the U.S. market has a bigger Macintosh
Yeah.
population. So see how it does, and I would bet by next year you would hear something about it or not.
Maybe
Definitely.
maybe we'll find out, whenever we hear it from Macworld or something like that. Apple's convention, but sales or whatnot. I don't know. Can an Apple support the Crisis engine?
I,
Because I don't
honestly,
think
I
they
don't
can.
know. It may be at the lowest settings. They might have to manipulate it a little. So,
Yeah, because that's the one thing that that would makes me think that it probably won't come out to the
I
Mac
don't
is because
know.
of the
Call of
engine.
Duty 4 got on the Mac, so I'm pretty sure anything's possible. So
True. So, but we'll see though. It's depending on the developers. I know WoW came out for the Mac and PC
yeah.
because I think that's what Blizzard wanted to do, was make sure everyone PC related was able to log on.
Well, that's why I said it's not going to be based off the sales of the game. It's going to be based off of how many subscribers stick around and keep joining the game. If you continue to see this game grow like a WoW, you'll definitely see it on the Mac. They're not going to turn down more
Definitely.
customers. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So Chris, gotta thank you for your question. We appreciate it.
Definitely.
As for
Yay!
that,
First one.
yep.
Woo!
So on that note, we are out of here. Find us at the typical spots, whether it's Quiglin, Church 4252, or me, G Nitro. Leave off the dash. You can find us on Twitter, Pwned, or any other social site, pretty much, except for Quiglin. He's kind of a social site snob.
Yeah, I don't want. That's a big negative on the Facebook. Although with all these people talking to me about, the engagement and stuff, it's almost becoming a necessity. Blah. Which, that's a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Well, once again, congratulations on your engagement.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations to you. I feel sorry for her though.
Oh man, don't your girlfriend's right there, dude.
Trust me, we'll be
You never
saying
know.
that to her. One day.
One day.
Well,
All right.
alright, and we are out of here until next week. Peace.
Later.
iTunes.
Yeah.